fucking go. Yo, welcome back
good?
to the PRP podcast, guys. Tonight
PRP
is a super chill night. Exclusive Diddy Trial / Mario Party extravaganza.
That's right. Emotion.
We may or may not have smoked marijuana tonight. To be candid.
No.
And we're fucking with the red 3 tonight because you know RFK finna ban this, so we gonna have it when RFK bans it. Kevo gonna have it.
$2 a bag.
You know Kevo, he got the red 3, bro. We got him by the gallons. But
Man.
So, family, welcome back to the Poor Rican podcast. We break down the juiciest news, but tonight we're chilling. You know what I'm saying? We usually go live every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, life has its ways of, you know, going up and down. Brutal Pete's on his music mission right now, and he's killing it. You know, like I've been to his concerts. I've filmed them. They're amazing. You know, Kevo, Sam, working a lot. I've been workaholic extraordinaire for the past couple weeks. So, you know, welcome to the podcast, guys. If you're watching for the first time,
PRP,
welcome to the Poor Rican podcast. So tonight we're just going to go like little by little into the Diddy Trial, but we're actually playing Mario Party. So the Mario Party is really the most important thing tonight because we're going to have fun too. And we're just going to go a little bit, you know, little by little through when it's not our turn to play, you feel me? We can be, you know, figuring some Diddy shit out, right? So, you know, we got Pete, Kevo, Sam, Trigger No Safety right here. Quick shout out to our Perps community on Locals. You can chat with us, back the show, connect with other fans. Every dollar helps us level up, and the perks are dope. Hit the link below to join or support us for free by following PRP Podcast. Like and repost our stuff.
Hit that link, bro.
Subscribe so that you never miss out, guys, okay? Because, look, we haven't gone live for 2 weeks, but boom, here we are tonight, and we're going to go live hard for you guys. So one more thing, if you're tired of the same old nonsense, check out my new thing, right? So Triggered with Trigger is no longer going to be a live show. It's going to be more of a pre-recorded content show, you know, where I'm you know, breaking down a couple of political things and a couple of things that are definitely going to make you guys mad. So make sure that you tune in for the new stuff. So we got the Diddy Trial live with the PRP. This is happening right now. So make sure you keep your eyes glued to our channel. All right. It's going to be fun, relaxed time. Right now we're choosing our characters, and you know that I'm a little bit retarded, but I'm going to go for, who you going for?
Yo, Luigi, brother.
Kevo the Magnificent going for the Luigi. Who you going for?
It's obvious because I've missed a few shows. I'm Boo.
You're Boo. Hey, because he's been ghost. Okay, I see what you did there. And Sam Fox, you're Bowser Jr. All right, I'm just going to pick Mario because, you feel me?
Nah.
The mustache.
I like Bowser Jr.
I don't know. I felt like I pressed it, bro, and then I didn't, bro.
You just went with the like.
Oh, see, brother, with that one.
He just went.
Oh, it's like this.
All together. It's like
Bam.
Let's see if Craig can get his buttons right this time.
Oh my god. I suck, guys. I suck at
To be
this.
fair, he's not used to the Switch. To be fair.
So Diddy Trial, what's going on?
Yeah. We're kicking things off with a whole high-profile case. It's gripping the nation, of course. The federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs, a music mogul whose legacy is now under intense scrutiny, guys. The founder, if you will, of Biggie Smalls, the notorious B.I.G., the greatest rapper of all time, right?
One of my personal favorites, to be honest with you. I grew up on the East Coast.
Right.
Big impact, big influence on my hip-hop journey, you know what I'm saying?
Biggie and Pun.
Honestly.
Biggie and Pun. I watch Chris Rivers, Big Pun's son, man. He's dope.
Big L as well, dude. I actually love Big L.
Nas,
He's really
Big L.
So we're gonna break down the timeline of events, right? The jury selection that began May 5th, and the court date that happened 3 days ago. Previous allegations that shadowed Diddy's career outside this proceeding, right? So grab whatever you need to settle in. We're gonna unpack the complex and controversial case, right? P. Diddy. Where are we gonna go, to the mall? The Rainbow Galleria?
We got the mall, we got the raceway, the Wiggly Tree Party, the Goomba Lagoon.
Is there a random mode?
So, are any of these stages having like
random select?
Just saying.
Oh, difficulty 5, 6 stars? 5 stars? Let's play that one.
The mall.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, they just made the most obvious
fun.
place, right? It's crazy.
The mall's
Of
fun.
course they did.
Yeah.
They're really trying to have a Diddy party now.
I like 15 turns. Give a little extra time to do a little something.
Devious.
Sean Diddy Combs. Puffy. Puff. P. Diddy. Diddy. Love. He's been around since the 90s. Founded Bad Boy Records. Launched the careers of, like we said, Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige. The prosecutors allege that Combs used his wealth, right?
It appears that way.
Right?
Now, somebody messaged me. Something crazy.
Uh-oh. Somebody's mad.
What happened?
Somebody's pissed.
What do we do?
I don't
Combs
know.
uses wealth and influence to run a criminal enterprise engaging in sex trafficking, racketeering, other serious crimes. He's 55 years old. He's pled not guilty. He denies the allegations. Bro, have you heard the calls? Like, I don't know if those are AI generated or not, where it's like, they're like, make a conversation between Jay-Z and Puff Daddy and make it this.
Well, we've already seen all the AI videos, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're able to do that.
Sure.
Right. So, the timeline, right? So the seeds of the case were planted in November 2023. His ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit, right? Cassie was signed to Bad Boy Records, alleged that Combs subjected her to years of abuse, including physical violence, rape, coerced participation in drug-fueled sexual events called freak-offs.
Oh, shit.
The lawsuit was settled out of court within a day, within 24 hours, okay, for an undisclosed amount. It was $2.4 million, is what the numbers are saying online.
You just settle it real quick. Boom. Dumb as hell.
Shut the fuck up.
Dumb as
2.4.
hell.
Bam. Peace. By early 2024, more lawsuits followed. Dozens, in fact. Men and women came forward with claims of sexual assault, coercion, and abuse.
Sorry.
Some alleging that they were drugged at Combs' infamous parties. One lawsuit even claimed abuse of a minor. These civil suits, while separate from the criminal case, paint a troubling picture. In March of 24, federal agents raided Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles, seizing narcotics, AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, and over 1,000 bottles of, you guessed it,
Baby oil.
baby oil and lubricant items. Astroglide actually was also a big thing there.
They said in the testimony.
It's too slippery for me, bro. I don't know.
Mr. Combs likes
Items prosecutors later
baby
tied to the
oils,
freak-offs.
So that's not a crime.
Right. It's not a crime to have.
1,000 bottles of fucking baby oil.
Right.
Laced baby oil is a different story.
Laced baby oil.
Yeah,
That's crazy. So
Baby
September
oil with
16,
fucking
2024.
That's crazy.
The charges were unsealed the next day: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors accused Combs of orchestrating a criminal enterprise. I heard that his thing's the size of a large Tootsie Roll. And those Tootsie Rolls like that? And the lady said she was relieved when she seen it because she was like really scared that it was gonna hurt when he raped her, bro. Like, it's not funny rape, bro, but like the Tootsie Roll, bro. January 2025, another indictment added 2 more victims, solidifying the prosecution's narrative. All right, let's go to the jury selection, right? What did you say?
Hit your button.
Oh, it's my turn. A.
No,
We're gonna pause.
There we go.
So y'all telling me that the Cassie case is already over, done with?
No,
Oh
there's
no,
still
they're
going.
just okay.
No.
That was the one previous to what happened before.
Her civil suit, yeah.
Okay.
But this was a federal indictment. So, what do y'all know about the jury selection?
I don't know nothing. I should have been on the jury because I don't know shit really. Just about what the podcast,
No. But they want people that they can manipulate either way. Like, so I think, the defense and the offense, they have 6 each. So they got to meticulously choose those 6. And it's not necessarily they're going to choose 6 that are going to go a specific way. They want to choose 6 that are going to go a specific way and sway the entire group as well.
But they all got to be unbiased and know nothing about the case, though.
Yep.
Which is kind of funny because everybody knows about the case.
Everybody
They got
knows
to
about the
see,
case.
The Cassie video.
Right. They saw the Cassie video.
Your turn, Trey.
Jury selection. We'll get to that after this. What's with this number?
It's a lucky number.
Give me the dub. Luigi's turn. No, so.
Double dice.
So nearly every potential juror questioned so far has admitted to seeing news reports about the case. And many have watched the 2016 hotel surveillance video of Combs attacking Cassie Ventura, a piece of evidence we'll get into in a moment. But on May 5th, Judge Arun Subramanian, a Columbia grad who clerked for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, began questioning dozens of New Yorkers one by one. The process is meticulous. Jurors were given 17-page questionnaire probing their views on sex, drugs, violence, hip-hop culture, and law enforcement.
Wow. Hip-hop culture is a crime, too?
Some questions were surprisingly personal, like whether they could forgive a cheating partner, a nod to how jurors might handle... Oh, snap. Oh, we're in a mini game, bro.
Not yet.
Practice run.
You gotta hit the start button, brother.
I'm ready.
You gotta hit the start button, Pete.
I'm probably gonna lose. We're on a big ass block of ice. Oh shit! Oh, first is go. First is go. Some questions were surprisingly personal for the jurors, right? Like whether they could forgive a cheating partner.
Shit.
One juror was dismissed after admitting they read a USA Today article about the case that very day, showing they couldn't follow instructions. Another was struck for saying P. Diddy has a lot of money, probably to buy his way out of jail.
I mean, that was
Not this time.
The defense and prosecution are laser focused on bias. Combs' team, led by attorney Mark Agnifilio, so if you're a pedophilio, call Mark Agnifilio, and Teddy Garagos, they tried to dismiss a woman who works at HBO, which produced a documentary called The Fall of Diddy. She hasn't seen it.
The ball of Diddy.
But the defense argued that her workplace exposure was risky. The judge kept her in the pool. By the end of May 6th, 35 jurors had moved forward, and on May 7th, the court reached the target of 45 qualified candidates. On May 9th, both sides used preemptory strikes, 10 for the defense, 6 for the prosecution, to finalize the 12 jurors and 6 alternates. So it's 18. About 12 mains and 6 alternates. Several jurors admitted to seeing the Cassie video or hearing comedians joke about the baby oil found in Combs' homes. One juror even liked the social media post referencing the baby oil. Familiarity alone didn't disqualify them if they pledged to remain impartial. I promise.
You gotta roll the dice, brother. Roll the dice for the baby oil. Do it for the baby oil.
Quattro.
Just to the store, Mike.
The mushroom for the $1.
How do I get it?
You gotta move it and then you gotta hit this button when you want
He
it.
hasn't finished his talking to the guy yet.
Oh.
There you go.
Shit, you knew better than me. You know what I'm saying? I would have fucked it up.
Man.
You did that last time.
So, realistically, I can only...
Push your buttons, brother. Push your buttons.
Oh, shit.
No, just dialogue. Just dialogue. Knowledge. So what happened now?
We should just play it, bro, because, like, bro, so there's a dude named Odie, right?
Yeah.
The dude named Odie is the guy that Diddy would pay to smash Cassie while Diddy, like, sat in the back, you know,
And
giving them
watched.
instructions and watched and masturbated his Tootsie Roll, you know?
That's not all.
And that's not all, folks. The Astroglide was plentiful in this place, in the frozen tundra of the Diddy mansions.
No, they went and took a page out of R. Kelly's book.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Bro, craziness.
That's
Oh,
always it.
yeah.
Damn.
A double dice only gonna give me 3. F this game.
So that was the jury selection. I don't think they're going to find anyone that doesn't know about that Diddy trial, unless they get some Amish people.
That's what I
Some
was
non-United
thinking,
States citizens, maybe some
Everybody
immigrants,
against Kevo.
somebody in ICE custody.
Ah. Shit.
Shit. Give him Randall.
Oh, you got my ass, bro. Look how quiet I got.
Damn.
No way.
What?
We're gonna have to watch this. Or listen to it at least.
Shit.
You're not saying that right now.
I know this will be a long road, but I want to emphasize that you have a tremendously important task as jurors. It is to determine the facts. You, and not the court,
This
are the
is
sole
AI
judges of the
generated
facts.
from
The
the
Constitution itself recognizes your unique role in our system of justice. So
That's
please,
not
pay careful attention to the witnesses and evidence received
All
at
these
trial,
people are
as
AI.
well as my instructions on the law. I thank you for your commitment to performing this civic duty and recognize the sacrifices that you have all made to be here today. We will now begin with opening statements. Is the government prepared to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
This is Sean Combs. To the public, he was Puff Daddy, or Diddy, a cultural icon, a businessman larger than life. But there was another side to him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise. During this trial, you are going to hear about 20 years of the defendant's crimes. But he didn't do it alone. He had an inner circle of bodyguards and high-ranking employees who helped him commit crimes and helped him cover them up. Kidnapping, arson, drugs, sex crimes, bribery, and obstruction. These are just some of the crimes that the defendant and his inner circle committed again and again. You are going to hear about all of them during this trial.
She looks like
Let's start now with just one night. The defendant was on the hunt for his girlfriend, a woman named Cassie. For years, the defendant physically abused Cassie. He also sexually exploited her, forcing her to have sex with male escorts while he watched and recorded it. But that night, the defendant learned he had lost control of Cassie. He found out Cassie was seeing another man. Furious, he set out to find Cassie and that other man, but he couldn't do it by himself. So he took his gun and he took his bodyguard, one of his most loyal lieutenants, to wake up one of the defendant's employees in the middle of the night. The defendant yelled that he was going to kill the man Cassie was with. He demanded that his employee take him to that man's home. The defendant forced the employee out of her apartment and into an SUV. They drove to the house. The defendant and his bodyguard broke in, but no one was there. The defendant did give up. He kept looking for Cassie. When he finally found her, he did what he had done countless times before. He beat her brutally, kicking her in the back and flinging her around like a rag doll. All of that violence wasn't enough, though. The defendant had to make sure he had control over Cassie once again. So he threatened her. The defendant told Cassie that if she defied him again, he would publicly release the videos of her having sex with male escorts that he kept as blackmail. Souvenirs of the most humiliating nights of her life. This was just one night in the defendant's 2 decades of crime. In one night, he and his lieutenant kidnapped an employee, broke into a man's house, and the defendant beat and blackmailed his girlfriend. And as you will learn, this was just the tip of the iceberg. These are not the only crimes the defendant committed. That's not the only time he kidnapped someone, and Cassie is not the only woman he beat or sexually exploited. For 20 years, the defendant, with the help of his trusted inner circle, committed crime after crime. That's why we're here today. That's what this case is about. 20 years of crime is a lot to cover. So first, I'm going to walk you through what evidence in this case will show. Then I will explain a little bit about the charges, and then I will tell you how the government will prove that the defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So what will the evidence show? You'll learn that the defendant was a musician who created an empire. He had a record label, Bad Boy Records, and other businesses that he ran or controlled. Those businesses made the defendant rich, and he used money and resources from those companies to build his reputation and to feed his every desire. To do that, he relied on an inner circle of people closest to him, like his bodyguards, chief of staff, and other high-ranking employees who ran all aspects of his life. Together, the group worked to promote the defendant's power. They carefully cultivated and guarded his reputation. And they worked to get the defendant everything he wanted. He sometimes called himself the king, and he expected to be treated like one. He expected his inner circle to cater to his every desire, including his sexual desires. For years, the defendant used his inner circle and his company's resources to sexually exploit multiple women, including women he forced and manipulated into having sex with male escorts, meaning men who the defendant paid to have sex with women while he watched. No matter what, the defendant and his inner circle made sure he got everything he wanted. Many times that involved committing crimes together and then covering up those crimes. Those crimes included violent acts, like when the defendant brought his bodyguard and his gun to kidnap the employee I mentioned earlier. But you'll hear about the other violence too, like when the defendant's bodyguards kidnapped the same employee another time, forcing her to sit through days of lie detector tests, or when the defendant had a man's car set on fire, or when the defendant dangled a woman over a balcony. You'll see and hear evidence of all of this. The defendant had impossible demands. When his employees failed to meet those demands, the defendant threw things at them, threatened them, hit them, or pressured them to take drugs. He even sexually assaulted one of them. You'll also hear how the defendant used his employees to get and distribute drugs. They delivered those drugs whenever the defendant asked, including so he could give those same drugs to the women he was forcing to have sex with male escorts. He transported those women and those escorts across state lines and even out of the country for sex acts. He used his inner circle and the vast resources of his business empire to help arrange those trips and make the women available to him. Let me be very clear on this next point. This case is not about a celebrity's private sexual preferences. The evidence will show that the sexual conduct at issue in this case was coercive and criminal because the defendant made women have sex when they did not want to, because he threatened them, he drugged help, he lied to them, and he even used violence to make them do it. A lot of this trial will focus on just two of those women, Cassie, who I talked about earlier, and Jane. Some of the details of what happened to Cassie and Jane may be hard to hear, but this is what the evidence will show happened. The defendant used lies, drugs, threats, and violence to force and coerce first Cassie and later Jane to have sex with him in front of male escorts. The defendant insisted that the sex occur in a very specific, highly orchestrated way. These sexual performances lasted multiple days and involved multiple escorts. The defendant called these encounters by different names over the years. First, freak-offs, later wild king nights or hotel nights. Week after week, the defendant directed freak-offs in hotels across the country and sometimes out of the country. At times, the defendant had escorts and the women travel from out of state, so the defendant's staff sometimes organized flights, cars, and hotels. The defendant's businesses paid those expenses. The defendant had particular demands for freak-offs. At his direction, the defendant's staff set up the room in advance with supplies, like his preferred lighting, extra linens, and lubricant. His staff remained on call to refresh anything the defendant needed, like cash to pay the escorts or drugs for the women and the defendant. The hotel rooms were dark. The defendant instructed Cassie and Jane how to look, to dress in lingerie, wear tall platform high heels, and have manicured white nails. The defendant selected drugs for Cassie and Jane to take, usually MDMA, also known as Molly or ecstasy. Sometimes those drugs made Cassie and Jane sick, but they also made the woman more uninhibited and sexually aroused. The defendant fed Cassie and Jane drugs throughout the freak-off so they could stay awake and perform for him for hours and days at a time.
That's crazy. Hours.
Once an escort arrived, the defendant dictated every step of the sexual activity that followed. Sexual activity that followed the same pattern. And he expected the women to enjoy themselves, to appear to, while they did it. The defendant masturbated throughout the freak-offs and often video recorded part of them. Now, I want to tell you more about Cassie and about Jane. Cassie was a 19-year-old model, an aspiring singer with a hit song when she met.
Do you want to start an AI business? Are you tired of wasting money on overpriced online courses? I want to show you how I sell AI to local businesses without needing to invest in some expensive program. I'll give you my full step-by-step course that others have gone through to learn how to offer AI services. Just click on this video, pop in your email on the next page, and I'll shoot you over the full step-by-step course, the automation software I use, plus all of my templates and scripts. Now, just to set expectations here, I'm not promising you're going to make a ton of money overnight. In fact, I'm not making any.
Met the defendant in 2006. The defendant was 17 years older than her and the head of a record label. Soon, Cassie was signed to a 10-album deal with the label. The defendant pursued Cassie, and within a year, they were dating. They stayed together on and off until about 2018. During that time, Cassie tried to work on her music and in modeling and acting, but the defendant made her turn down many opportunities. Instead, he paid for Cassie's cars, her apartments, and some of her day-to-day expenses. Although Cassie recorded music constantly, the defendant, the head of her record label, had final say on the music that she released. It was never another album. The defendant started abusing Cassie early on. Initially, Cassie fought back, but time and again, the defendant hit Cassie in the head, threw her to the ground and kicked her, and dragged her by the hair. In 2009, the defendant threw Cassie to the floor of an SUV and stomped repeatedly on her face. To hide her injuries, the defendant forced Cassie to stay in a hotel for the next week. He refused to let her leave and had a staff check on her to make sure she stayed put. The defendant also introduced Cassie to freak-offs early on. Soon, the defendant made it Cassie's job to find and book escorts for freak-offs. Freak-offs that were happening as often as once a week for days at a time, meaning that for almost half of every week, Cassie was in a dark hotel room, high and awake for days, performing sex acts that she did not want to do on male escorts. Cassie will tell you how she felt like she was choking when the defendant made an escort urinate in her mouth, and how she overdosed at a freak-off when she still had an open wound on her face from the defendant's most recent assault. The defendant's physical attacks on Cassie happened at the freak-offs too. As you will see on video during this trial, the defendant hit and kicked Cassie in the hallway of an LA hotel, trying to drag her back to the room where they had been with an escort. We'll talk more about that video later. Cassie tried the first freak-off because she loved the defendant and wanted to make him happy. After that, she knew it was not something she wanted to do, but because of the defendant, it became almost everything she did. Because if Cassie didn't do what the defendant wanted, the consequences were severe. Physically, the defendant beat her viciously, exploding over even the tiniest slight and beating her to show who was in charge.
A one-hit wonder.
He beat her when she didn't answer the phone when he called. He beat her when she left a freak-off without his permission. He beat her when he thought she took too long in the bathroom. The defendant taught Cassie that defying him could and often would end in violence. And when she tried to run away, he always found her, often with the help of his inner circle. And Cassie's career and livelihood were also in the defendant's hands, something the defendant made clear to Cassie. He told her he could destroy her career by releasing the videos that he recorded of her performing sex acts on dozens and dozens of male escorts. So Cassie knew that failing to please the defendant, refusing his demands, had more than just physical consequences. It had the power to ruin her life. The defendant's control, the defendant's violence, and the defendant's threats. That is how the defendant ensured Cassie could not say no to him. So time and again, when the defendant suggested to Cassie that they have a freak-off, she knew she had no choice but to agree and went to work setting one up. She texted the escorts, arranged for them to come to hotels, and put on the performance the defendant wanted. Her livelihood and her safety depended on keeping him happy. Cassie's relationship with the defendant was complicated. You will hear during this trial that both Cassie and the defendant were unfaithful, jealous, and at times angry. But only one of them had power. Only one had control. And that was the defendant. And with that power and with that control, he made Cassie do his bidding in those dark hotel rooms. You'll learn, though, that Cassie was not the only woman the defendant did this to. This was a part of a pattern. Now, I want to tell you about Jane. Jane was a single mom who started spending time with the defendant in 2020. The defendant pursued and romanced Jane, who fell in love with him quickly. Jane was not seeing other men, but the defendant was seeing other women at the time, so his relationship with Jane was not at all public. For the first few months, their sex life was just the two of them, and Jane was happy. That was until the defendant introduced Jane to freak-offs. One night, when they had already taken drugs and been having sex for hours, the defendant told Jane about freak-offs. Jane agreed to try one to make the defendant happy. To her surprise, the defendant said he would make it happen immediately, that very same night. He took her to a hotel where a room was already set up and an escort was on the way. Jane was nervous, and the defendant directed her step by step. Jane thought the first freak-off was a one-time wild night. Jane was wrong. The defendant continued asking Jane to have freak-offs and promising that if she did, they would spend quality time together. They would go on dates together. They would go on trips. That was what Jane wanted more than anything, a real relationship. So she agreed. She helped plan freak-offs and reach out to escorts. But even though the defendant promised her quality time and trips, he never delivered. Those were just lies he told her to get more nights in dark hotel rooms with escorts. Jane will tell you about those nights in detail, how she wanted the escorts to wear condoms, but many times the defendant did not let them. And Jane will tell you how he had her take drugs to stay awake and aroused for days. Jane tried twice to make it through these nights without drugs. The first time she broke down and had took ecstasy to finish performing for the defendant. The second time, Jane vomited after having sex with one escort. How did the defendant respond? He told her to hurry up and get back into the room where another escort was waiting. Early on, Jane told the defendant that she didn't like freak-offs and she just wanted to be alone with him. She loved him desperately and wanted a real relationship with him. The defendant did not listen. Feeling stuck and sick of the strangers the defendant kept bringing to these hotel rooms, Jane tried to assert herself in small ways. She found two men who performed in pornography, and she invited them to join the freak-offs. That way, Jane could at least choose the other man she was forced to be intimate with. Like he did with Cassie, the defendant eventually took steps to control Jane financially. The defendant wanted Jane available with him at a moment's notice, and he discouraged her from working. Jane's income plummeted. The defendant gave Jane money and later started paying rent for the house that she lives with her child. That way, when Jane resisted the freak-offs and told him over and over that she wanted to stop, he had the power to coerce her back into hotel rooms. And just as he had with Cassie, the defendant threatened Jane with the videos he recorded of her engaging in sex acts with the escorts. But the lies and the drugs and the threats were not the end of it. Not even a year ago today, Jane had the worst day of her life. The defendant came to Jane's house for an at-home date night. She and the defendant argued about another woman that the defendant had been seeing. Jane was upset and jealous. She had now spent years in hotel rooms for forced sex while the defendant took his other girlfriends for dates and trips. Jane hit the defendant and threw things at him. The defendant became enraged, so Jane tried to get away from him and hide. She ran to her bedroom and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to her bathroom and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to her closet and locked the door. He kicked it open. She ran to the guest bedroom and locked the door. He kicked it open. She tried to run out the front door, but he grabbed her in a chokehold, lifted her off the ground by her neck, and kicked her to the ground. Later that night, they fought again. And just as he had with Cassie, the defendant viciously attacked Jane. He punched her in the face, kicked her while she was curled up in a ball on the ground, dragged her by her hair and her arm, and slapped Jane's face so hard she fell over. When all of this was over, the defendant still did not let Jane.
If you're 55 or over, did you know you could leave your loved ones with an inheritance of up to $300,000 with senior life insurance? You see, most seniors don't realize their life insurance policy can be about more than just covering funeral expenses. It can also provide a financial legacy for your loved ones.
Yeah, this AI got a lot of commercials.
Instead, he told Jane, "You're not going to my night." The defendant instructed her to put on an outfit and call up an escort for a freak-off. He made Jane cover her black eye and bruising, take an ecstasy pill, and perform for the descendant with that escort. Jane followed his instructions.
Is that the real one?
Like with Cassie, the defendant's violence had gotten him what he wanted. The defendant's sexual violence did not stop at freak-offs, though.
Damn, I got a lot.
Cassie will tell you about a time when the defendant forced himself on her, having sex with her as she cried and repeatedly told him no. And Mia, an employee who the defendant worked to the bone for years, will tell you about the times that the defendant forced himself on her sexually, putting his hand up her dress, unzipping his pants, and forcing her to perform oral sex and sneaking into her bed to penetrate her against her will. As I said before, the defendant had the power and the control, endless resources, and a loyal inner circle who would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. Amidst all this violence, the defendant and his inner circle had to make sure that nothing put the defendant's public image and his power at risk. So as tirelessly as the defendant's inner circle worked to meet the defendant's every need, they also worked to cover up his crimes. Remember the video of the LA hotel of the defendant attacking Cassie during a freak-off? You will hear just how far the defendant, his bodyguards, and his chief of staff went to get what they thought was the only copy of that video. The defendant first tried to pay off hotel security guard with a wad of cash in exchange for his silence. Then the defendant and his chief of staff reached out to a different hotel security guard to broker a deal. In exchange for the video from the hotel, the defendant gave the security guard a brown paper bag full of $100,000 in cash, while the defendant's bodyguard and his chief of staff stood by. This is far from the only time the defendant's inner circle tried to close ranks and do damage control. You'll hear how the inner circle covered up the defendant's brutal beatings by keeping Cassie in hiding for days. You'll hear about the inner circle contacting witnesses of the defendant's abuse to feed them lies, including even after he knew about the investigation in this case. Again and again, the defendant and his inner circle tried to keep the defendant's crimes out of public view to protect his reputation and to protect his power. That is what the evidence in this case will show. For all of this, the defendant is charged with multiple federal crimes. You'll hear the trial when the judge instructs you on the law and his instructions control. But for now, there are just a few points I want to highlight so you have context for what you'll hear during this case. First, the defendant is charged with racketeering conspiracy based on his agreement to commit crimes as part of an enterprise. I expect the judge will tell you an enterprise is a group of people who work together for a common purpose of engaging in a course of conduct over a time. Here, you will learn that the enterprise is the inner circle I talked about, the bodyguards and the high-ranking employees like chiefs of staff. Some of these people came and went over 20 years, but I expect the evidence will show that the defendant was a through line. He remained at the top, running the group, and he always had trusted bodyguards and advisors helping. Together, they agreed to commit different crimes, including kidnapping and arson, distributing drugs to other people, exploiting employees for labor, and in Mia's case, sex, bribery and obstruction, sex trafficking, and transporting people for prostitution. That's all covered by the racketeering conspiracy charge. The defendant is also charged separately for sex trafficking Cassie and Jane through force, fraud, or coercion. Again, the judge's instructions control, but I expect you'll learn that fraud includes a lie about a material fact. Coercion includes threats, and force includes violence. He remained at the top, running the group, and he always had trusted bodyguards and advisors helping him. Together, they agreed to commit different crimes, including kidnapping and arson, distributing drugs to other people, exploiting employees for labor, and in Mia's case, sex, bribery and obstruction, sex trafficking, and transporting people for prostitution. That's all covered by the racketeering conspiracy charge. The defendant is also charged separately for sex trafficking Cassie and Jane through force, fraud, or coercion. Again, the judge's instructions control, but I expect you'll learn that fraud includes a lie about a material fact. Coercion includes threats, and force includes violence. The defendant is charged with using all three tactics to make Cassie and Jane participate in days-long, drug-fueled, recorded sexual encounters with male escorts against their will. Finally, he was charged with transporting Cassie, Jane, and male escorts across state lines for these sexual encounters. How will the government prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty of these crimes? You'll hear from witnesses, including Cassie and Jane, two of the defendant's victims. They will tell you how the defendant tried to control their lives, from their homes to their careers, how the defendant used his control over them, his lies, his drugs, his threats, and his violence to force and coerce them into having sex with male escorts.
Jellyfish Lighting is an all-in-one permanent exterior lighting system. Through an app on your phone, you're able to decorate for all holidays like Christmas, Halloween, Easter, and 4th of July, as well as set nightly programs to turn on and off from sunset to sunrise, or customize static times. The color of your Jellyfish Lighting system is matched to the color of your home, so it is discreet from the street.
It's the commercial again.
Cassie and Jane will describe freak-offs for you in painstaking detail. They will tell you some of the most personal and painful experiences of their lives. The days they spent awake in hotel rooms, high on drugs, dressed as characters to perform the defendant's fantasy just as he directed them to. You'll also hear from some of the defendant's employees. You'll hear from Mia, who worked as the defendant's personal assistant for years, the employee he sexually assaulted. Mia is just beginning to grapple with the times the defendant forced himself on her sexually. Mia will tell you how she could not talk about what happened to her until recently, how she wanted to take the secret of what the defendant did to her grave. You will hear from the employee who the defendant forced into an SUV with a gun from one of the defendant's chefs and from other personal assistants. They will tell you they worked punishing hours and days for the defendant, at times without any sleep. They will tell you how the defendant ordered them to buy drugs for him, how they used all the resources at their disposal to make sure the defendant always had everything he desired, how they were expected to keep quiet about what they saw and what they heard in the defendant's homes. You will learn that some of these witnesses and victims, including Cassie, have already received financial settlements from the defendant or have filed lawsuits against the defendant. But these witnesses will tell you they'd trade any money from the defendant for not having been abused. You will also hear from some of the escorts who participated in freak-offs with Cassie and Jane. They will tell you how the defendant directed the sexual activity between escorts and Cassie or Jane, down to the detail of how they touched each other, the specific sex acts they performed, all while the defendant filmed it. You will even hear from an escort who saw the defendant assault Cassie and drag her by her hair during a freak-off.
That was fun.
In addition to these witnesses, you will see documents that prove the defendant's crimes. You'll see records from hotels, car services, and airlines showing the dates and locations when the escorts and women traveled to meet the defendant for freak-offs. You will see records of the physical damage the defendant in his freak-offs caused the hotel rooms where he stayed. You will see dozens and dozens of text messages about freak-offs, including messages from the defendant to his staff asking for more cash to pay escorts. Messages where the defendant tells Cassie what drugs to take and when before freak-off. And messages from Jane to the defendant telling him over and over again that she did not want to do freak-offs. And you will see.
So let's see if they have the, they might have, yeah.
Oh, I hate this one.
I'm here today because I would like people to know what I've been through with car show. Everything's smooth. Everything goes by
Everything
plan.
good. Everything good.
these text messages because they're
Now, I will tell you, I knew the defense, and they haven't gotten it quite yet, I don't believe. She claims she was raped by Sean Combs and then had one more consensual encounter with him. Now, you and I both know that's happened in a number of sexual abuse cases. There are a number of reasons why an alleged victim might go forward. But this is a jury who's hearing all this. And I do wonder, does the last 2 days of testimony, and it was incredibly graphic. Let me say that right here. What we're hearing is incredibly graphic and disturbing, and we are not going to repeat all of these allegations, but I want to give you a fair warning about what we're talking about. Does what they heard in the last 2 days, Serena, completely outweigh where the defense is going to go on cross-examination?
so much about this case is who is picked on that jury. You know, one would hope that a jury could understand and appreciate that there are many, many layers to this story. And while it might have been a domestic violence situation, it could also have led to this RICO case, this trafficking case.
Right.
And it is not as simple you're right. And it's not as simple to say, listen, she came back to him over and over again. There are these text messages, and therefore that's all there is to the story. It is a layered story, and the prosecution does have an uphill battle to overcome those text messages and the things that she has said in the past. It'd be very important for them to educate the jury about what a domestic violence victim goes through, about the fact that she was only 19 years old. And I do think that that video is so compelling. It adds so much to her testimony so that the prosecution can say, don't just listen to what she said, watch what happened.
Of course. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break because we're getting Elizabeth Milner up here during the lunch break. I want to know what the scene was like in that courtroom and how the questioning and answers were conducted. So stay with us here on Long Crime. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Elizabeth, and we're also going to take your questions on the other side. Stay with us.
Stay with us. He said, stay with us.
Fly wherever you need me. I love you. And then you see Diddy respond, I love you so much. It makes me cry. And then Cassie writing back, you hungry pop. But I'm thinking, just from my perspective, that around those time frames, she was still relatively young for the most part. She was in her early 20s. She was also asked about a previous relationship she had with another music producer named Ryan Leslie. And around this time frame, the defense was kind of saying, when you started dating him, you were 18, 19 years old and he was 10 years older than you. And asking, with respect to Sean Combs, in respect to Diddy, asking whether or not, that her entire world opened up because she was dating this man at this time period. Because remember, around that time, Diddy essentially reigned king amongst everyone. And so a lot of the questioning was a lot of messages that were shown today, a lot saying, I love you so much. It made me feel like I can't wait until we just don't care anymore. And by saying we don't care anymore, that's about, her just wanting to be open and public about this relationship. You see Cassie say, Pop, I really miss you. And Diddy responding in these messages, me too, baby. Damn, I can't wait until I see you. You see a 2010 message where Cassie says, so you hung up. It's like I need to have something written out to say to you with no breathing room or you'll get mad at me. I haven't talked to you at all. I know you have 3 minutes because, around this time he is running a bunch of businesses. He's going to board meetings. He's traveling across the country. But it seems like, Cassie, from her point of view, just by reading these messages, that you could kind of tell that she was just somebody, at least from my perspective, somebody that was young and in love and just wanted her boyfriend around her that time. I will say, as far as just kind of the tone in the courtroom today, a lot of us this was a day many of us were waiting for because it is the cross-examination. We were wondering what the defense is going to try to poke at with, kind of maybe discrediting some of the claims, especially the claims about whether or not this was consensual or non-consensual, whether or not Cassie initiated wanting to do these FOs, or whether it was, Sean Combs who initiated and wanted to do it and made her, gather these escorts, and we haven't gotten too far into the testimony. I will say one thing today, Jesse, and some of the arguments that we had heard, even as I was leaving the courtroom just to come out and do this hit with you today, is that Cassie may be on the stand well until tomorrow as well, too, still in cross-examination, something that the judge was a little like, whoa, what are you guys talking about? You guys told me that you would be wrapped up today or possibly tomorrow. And the defense said today that they still have so much more to go over, to the point that this could drag into Friday and possibly even spill over into Monday if they have to do redirect or even have to do recross. And so that was something that they were ironing out as soon as the lunch break hit, right when I was leaving to come out here to speak with you. And so it seems like they still have a long ways to go into this cross-examination. There were times that I was thinking maybe that this would get combative. Maybe Cassie would get mad or angry or anything like that. I saw none of that. She was, again, very forthcoming, answering her questions in the courtroom, still very soft-spoken, even when those graphic messages were shown inside the courtroom, even as she had to read some of these. And these are very sexual in nature. Some of them I'm not going to repeat here on air, but for the most part, when she was answering the question, she still kept the exact same tone that she had had even during her direct examination. As for Ana Maria Esteveo, excuse me, I mispronounced her name earlier when we were talking about her, but even when she was asking her questions, it was a little kind of messy at times. I was kind of like, is she just going to ask a direct question? And Cassie was like, can you repeat that? Can you rephrase it? And then there were a lot of objections during the line of questioning. One thing I did note is that I'm a little surprised that Ana Maria Esteveo is actually doing the line of questioning, because from what I can see of her, she's conferring a lot with Tenny Garagos during this line of questioning, whereas with AUSA Emily Johnson, when she was doing her direct examination, as far as, Maureen Comey, as far as she was participating in that, she was just, handing her sticky notes from time to time. She would get up, she would sit down. It wasn't too distracting, kind of like it is a little bit between the defense table, just kind of going back and forth. You see Diddy at the defense table. He is, again, participating in his defense. He's very much eyeballing these exhibits. He's writing notes down. He's conferring, with Mark Agnifilo and who's sitting right beside him, who normally sits kind of at the end of the table, but for today he's sitting right beside Diddy. And so that's pretty much the big sticking points that I'm definitely seeing with this cross-examination so far. And again, we still have so much more to go. According to the defense, they're not even scratching the surface yet, according to them.
Not surprisingly, I think it was said today, this is the star witness of the prosecution's case. I think the defense, their case, is mostly wrapped up in how Cassandra Ventura appears in front of this jury. So I'm not surprised it's going to take some time. Elizabeth, I wish we had a little bit more time, but I know you have to jump back into that courtroom. So thank you so much. We're going to get you back later on in the day. Elizabeth Milner, great reporting as always. Thank you.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right, so I want to continue the conversation and take your questions right now about this. I'm back here with Saf. I'm back here with Serena. So,
I don't know, bro. It's pretty intense, bro. I ain't finna lie. Oh shit. I'm trying to see if they have
My bad.
oh, I got right away. FOs is what they call it.
quick trigger warning because it is really heavy. Some of the sketches, Cassie is noticeably pregnant, 8.5 months. She could have the baby. However, the defense, we'll get to this in a minute. We don't know when her cross-exam is going to be wrapped. What about recross, redirect? We don't know. Now, the defense in the morning was talking about exhibits. According to the prosecution, they said that the defense last night dumped 400 exhibits on us. This cannot continue throughout the course of the trial. However, Mark Ignifilo, who's pretty much been with Diddy since the start of all of this, he's one of the lead defense attorneys. He said they, meaning Cassie and Diddy, texted about everything. We have been doing this all night until 3 a.m. We flagged exhibits for them, meaning the government. So basically what all of that means is the defense is like, we've been up all night getting all of these exhibits together because Cassie and Diddy texted a lot and we want to talk a lot about all of these. We're doing the best we can for the government. And the government is like, come on, you guys, this is way too much. By the way, all of this is said outside of the presence of the jury, so they're not hearing the back and forth arguments. But the defense did kind of tease to what we could expect in cross. They said a large part of the defense is the infidelity on both sides and the fact that Mr. Combs understood that Miss Ventura was having other relationships with other men. So with that, those arguments outside of the presence of the jury then comes into the courtroom, and so does Cassie. Today, Cassie was wearing a light-colored blouse. She had a blue blazer over it, which you can see in some of the courtroom sketches. And the cross-examination began talking about her relationship. Now, this is questioning from the defense, from attorney Anna Estevo. So she asks, Miss Ventura, you loved Mr. Combs, correct? Yes, I did, Cassie replies. For 11 years, you took care of him. In some ways, you called him larger than life. I did. Others called him Diddy or Puff Daddy, but you called him Sean, right? Yes. You knew a version of him the rest of the world couldn't see, right? In ways, you kept coming back to him for 11 years. I wouldn't say coming back. You believed he loved you too. I did believe he loved me too. So when he cheated on you, it hurt. Not every time. On Cassie's direct, jurors heard a bit about her early relationship with P. Diddy, and this is something the defense touched on too. So she talks about meeting Diddy when she's 19 years old. They started dating in her early 20s. He's significantly older than her, but she's in her early 20s and talks about she loved him, how sparks flew. I mean, think about being in your early 20s or really whenever you start a relationship with someone. You're so excited when you see them. And according to Cassie's testimony, this is what it sounded like, getting butterflies when you see a text message from him. Here's what she said on the stand today.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 a month on car insurance, you're getting ripped off. Everybody knows you can buy.
Today, according to reports, he, meaning Diddy, was charismatic, big personality, larger than life. The beginning of the relationship was really fast, fast-paced, scary. But the more time I spent with him, his real personality came out. Sweet, attentive. And as I talked about at the top of our episode today, the defense was talking a lot about exhibits, text messages, and some of them definitely were shown to jurors. I'll start with this one. In 2009, a BlackBerry message, which TBT to BlackBerries prior to iPhones, BlackBerry message from P. Diddy. He wrote to Cassie, I love you so much, it makes me cry. Then the next year, 2010, this is an email exchange. Diddy writes, quote, love my baby. I love you so much. It consumes my life. How did it happen? And Cassie responds via email, I wonder the same thing. Who was I before we decided to be together? The defense also included another message from Diddy, and he wrote to Cassie, we are so in love, we don't do anything else. Later on, things with their relationship changed a bit, and the defense brought up another text message from Cassie talking about this. She wrote, I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rush me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention. This kind of paved the way for the discussion of infidelity. This is something that the defense was asking kind of a lot about, that Cassie testified it caused doubt in their relationship. The defense asked, what would trigger Mr. Combs's incessant calls to you? Which, if you remember from past scandal episodes, Cassie testified on direct that at times Diddy would call her over and over and over, or text her, like bombard her with texts until she replied. Dang. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. Cassie replied, anger, doubt about where I was. If he suspected you of cheating, he'd call you incessantly. That was one of the reasons. The defense also asked about freak-offs, how they started for Cassie. And this is something Cassie, of course, testified on direct. She said that she began these freak-offs because she was in love with Diddy and she wanted to please him. However, the defense highlighted a couple of text messages showing what appears to be Cassie into freak-offs. One of the texts Cassie wrote, "I am always ready to freak off, LOL." In a different text, Cassie wrote, "I love our freak-offs when we both want it." Speaking about texts that were in regards to freak-offs or explicit messages, this kind of continued. The defense asked, "Ms. Ventura, this is from Mr. Combs to you. You respond with an extremely explicit message, right?" "Yes." "This is 2 days after the planning of a freak-off, right?" "Yes." He said, "I want to see. How did you reply?" Cassie said, "I can't wait either." You wrote, "I feel like I want to F, right?" That's what it says. Now, they also discussed drugs during freak-offs. The defense asked, "What pills were you taking then?" "Opiates," Cassie said. He still ran his companies, meaning Diddy, even while having all these freak-offs, right? He did. What was he addicted to? And Cassie actually jokes during all of this. She laughs and says, "Success." Diddy was, addicted to success. To clarify, the defense asks, "What substances? Opiates?" She says, "Yes, he told me, and I saw it." Did Mr. Combs' mood depend on whether or not he was withdrawing from opiates? He was more irritable, I would say. What was his drug of choice? Ecstasy or MDMA? Opiates daily? When he was doing that, you saw him withdraw? Yes. Cassie straight up said, "Actually, recover." I would say he was an addict. I'm not a doctor. Coming off of certain pills, he would be pretty irritated. The defense also asked Cassie about recordings and them having to do with freak-offs. They asked, "You deleted videos on your devices, right?" "Yes." "What did you write?" Meaning a different message. "That I needed to feel that this is my husband, the only one who will see this side." Meaning that Cassie didn't want to participate in these freak-offs unless it was with her husband to be her husband. Now, the defense also asked, "Were you afraid that Mr. Combs was only seeing you for sex in this way?" That was a concern. Were freak-offs important? Integral to us. I guess that's really important for the jurors to remember too. I mean, this is on direct, it's on cross, that freak-offs were a huge part of the relationship between P. Diddy and Cassie. And the defense really pressed on this, wanting more details about the freak-offs. Cassie spoke about, once again, how she had to do these freak-offs or felt like she had to, even though she was on her period or sometimes when she was ill. Here's more testimony about a text. This is the defense. He's asking in the context of when to meet up and have sex. Looks like it. Sometimes you watched him with a female 2 or 3 times. Did you talk with Mr. Combs about the swingers lifestyle? That no one talks about it. Were you keeping freak-offs secret from your friends? Yes. The defense also asked, did his assistants help him? Cassie said, with everything. Would you remember if an assistant came in during one of your sessions with an escort? Not necessarily. I was high. So you don't remember much. I had my privacy invaded a lot during that relationship. That was an interesting reply from Cassie there. Just something to think about. Now, the defense also added, asking about when did these freak-offs become public? They pointed to Cassie's lawsuit. So the defense said, I'd like to start asking about freak-offs. Sometimes you wore a wig and a mask? Yes. They also said the general public did not know. No one knew until November 20th in public? Yes. Fair to say that Diddy's career was ruined after your lawsuit? Cassie says, I could understand that. Okay, this is about when testimony wrapped for the lunch break on Thursday. So here's Elizabeth Milner once again about the tone of today's cross.
Yeah, as far as the cross-examination goes, for the most part, it seems very casual. We were thinking that it might be aggressive, it might be combative, but for the most part, Cassie has been very forthcoming in answering these questions. You know, she's showing, Ana Maria Esteval is showing her text messages and email chains and BlackBerry messages from 2007, from 2009, where Cassie is confessing her love to Diddy, or she is asking for a freak off, or she's, asking, about just more intimate details from her relationship with him. Because to your point, Jesse, a lot of this stuff, some of these messages that we did see in court today were very graphic in nature. And so, the questioning was starting out about the relationship between the two. When it first started out in around that 2007 time period, around that 2009 period. That's when the questioning at the beginning of it kind of all started. And you would think that that would be, an aggressive moment or a combative moment, especially as you're seeing messages that say, I'm a very lucky woman. I miss you and I'd fly wherever you need me. I love you. And then you see Diddy respond, I love you so much. It makes me cry. And then Cassie writing back, you hungry pop. But I'm thinking, just from my perspective, that around those time frames, she was still relatively young. For the most part, she was in her early 20s. She was also asked about a previous relationship she had with another music producer named Ryan Leslie. And around this time frame, the defense was kind of saying, when you started dating him, you were 18, 19 years old and he was 10 years older than you, and asking, with respect to Sean Combs and with respect to Diddy, asking whether or not, that her entire world opened up because she was dating this man at this time period. Because remember, around that time, Diddy essentially reigned king amongst everyone. And so a lot of the questioning was a lot of messages that were shown today, a lot saying, I love you so much. It made me feel like I can't wait until we just don't care anymore. And by saying we don't care anymore, that's about, her just wanting to be open and public about this relationship. You see Cassie say, Pop, I really miss you. And Diddy responding in these messages, me too, baby. Damn, I can't wait until I see you. You see a 2010 message where Cassie says, so you hung up. It's like I need to have something written out to say to you with no breathing room or you'll get mad at me. I haven't talked to you at all. I know you have 3 minutes because, around this time, he is running a bunch of businesses. He's going to board meetings. He's traveling across the country. But it seems like, Cassie, from her point of view, just by reading these messages, that you could kind of tell that she was just somebody, at least from my perspective, somebody that was young and in love and just wanted her boyfriend around that time.
Cassie's testimony wraps, at least breaking for lunch. Jurors go to lunch. However, a couple of the attorneys stay to discuss with the judge. And the judge asks the defense, will you finish today or early tomorrow? Mark Agnifilo says end of tomorrow. But then he kind of changes his tune. He says, we might not be able to finish tomorrow. This is the most important witness. And the judge says, this is the exact opposite of what I was told for months. We said this witness had to be off the stand by the end of the week. Now, the prosecution jumps in right here and says, our direct was a day and a half. Limit them to that. The judge then is talking about exhibits, and he says, show Ms. Ventura the exhibits in advance. Maybe just ask her questions rather than these exhibits. We have a timing concern. Mark Agnifilo comes back, and he's like, about the government. They called 2 witnesses to start. That wasn't our choice. It's a critically...
When chaos is high, it's actually the best time to start and do your own thing.
The question you got to ask yourself, I think, is
important witness, meaning Cassie. Here's Elizabeth's comments on all of this.
Cassie may be on the stand well until tomorrow as well, too. Still in cross-examination, something that the judge was a little like, whoa, what are you guys talking about? You guys told me that you would be wrapped up today or possibly tomorrow. And the defense said today that they still have so much more to go over, to the point that this could drag into Friday and possibly even spill over into Monday if they have to do redirect or even have to do recross. And so that was something that they were ironing out as soon as the lunch break hit, right when I was leaving to come out here to speak with you. And so it seems like they still have a long ways to go into this cross-examination. There were times that I was thinking maybe that this would get combative. Maybe Cassie would get mad or angry or anything like that. I saw none of that. She was, again, very forthcoming, answering her questions in the courtroom, still very soft-spoken, even when those graphic messages were shown inside the courtroom, even as she had to read some of these, and these are very sexual in nature. Some of them I'm not going to repeat on here, but for the most part was answering the question. She still kept the exact same tone that she had even during her direct examination.
During Elizabeth's reporting today, she also talked a bit about the defense's strategy during today's cross-exam. So here's what she said.
As for Ana Maria Estevao, excuse me, I mispronounced her name earlier when we were talking about her, but even when she was asking her questions, it was a little kind of messy at times. I was kind of like, is she just going to ask a direct question? And Cassie was like, can you repeat that? Can you rephrase it? And then there were a lot of objections during the line of questioning. One thing I did note is that I'm a little surprised that Ana Maria Estevao is actually doing the line of questioning, because from what I can see of her, she's conferring a lot with Tenny Garagos during this line of questioning, whereas with AUSA Emily Johnson, when she was doing her direct examination, as far as, Maureen Comey, as far as she was participating in that, she was just, handing her sticky notes from time get up, she would sit down. It wasn't too distracting, kind of like it is a little bit between the defense table, just kind of going back and forth. You see Diddy at the defense table. He is, again, participating in his defense. He's very much eyeballing these exhibits. He's writing notes down. He's conferring, with Mark Agnifilo and who's sitting right beside him, who normally sits kind of at the end of the table, but for today he's sitting right beside Diddy. And so that's pretty much the big sticking points that I'm definitely seeing with this cross-examination so far. And again, we still have so much more to go, according to the defense. They're not even scratching the surface yet, according to them.
The soundbites we featured today were taken during the lunch break. So her reporting brings us up to here. But lucky for you, Scandal viewers, I'm recording this after the lunch break. So I have a couple more updates for you. Namely, that even after lunch, the judge was still mad at the defense for potentially keeping Cassie past the week. He said, in what universe did you not understand this was what was going to happen? You're telling me this was everyone's understanding that this witness was going to be done this week? So right now, it's unclear how long Cassie will actually be on the stand or what really happened there. Testimony did eventually resume, so I guess we'll see how long she'll be on cross. So after lunch, cross continues, though, and the defense is questioning Cassie once again about infidelity and jealousy. Cassie testified about Kim Porter, saying that she was, in fact, jealous of her relationship with Diddy. And Kim Porter, as you know, is the mother of 3 of Diddy's kids, had a long-time relationship back and forth. So Cassie says, yeah, I was jealous of that. And she wanted to be what she called Diddy's main girlfriend. That was kind of in the era of 2013. Moving now into 2014. Diddy starts dating a woman or going with a woman by the name of Gina, or, that's what they refer to her as, okay? Gina. And Diddy denied being with Gina to Cassie. I'm not having sex with her. I'm not seeing her. However, Cassie says this was the main problem in their relationship. They argued all the time about Gina. However, they also argued about Cassie and her potential infidelity or relationships with other guys. This led us to 2011, okay? So we're kind of jumping back and forth, but here's the timeline of everything, is that in 2011, Diddy introduced her to Kid Cudi and was like, hey, you two could collab. Like, this could look great for you, all of that. And she says that Cassie really enjoyed Kid Cudi's company. They kind of hit it off. And so when she was on a break with Diddy, she started talking to Kid Cudi and having a relationship. And she actually got a burner phone to talk to him because Cassie testified, I thought it would be way too dangerous to tell Diddy about that. And again, I want to note, Cassie says they were on a break during all of this. So she's with, or I don't know if they were like officially dating. She's having a thing with Kid Cudi. Okay. So Cassie's on a break with Diddy, having a thing with Kid Cudi. She's still has a burner phone because Cassie testifies she's still doing freak-offs even though she's on a break with Diddy. They've broken up. They're on a break, whatever you want to call it. She's still doing the freak-offs because she testified, quote, it was a job. So mid-freak-off is when Diddy apparently finds out about this Kid Cudi relationship because he's going through Cassie's phone. According to Cassie, Diddy lunged at her. He didn't hit her, though, and was upset about Kid Cudi. And if we wind the clock back to November of 2023, when we hear about Cassie's lawsuit for the first time, she straight up mentions Kid Cudi. She names him and alleges that Diddy got so jealous that he blew up Kid Cudi's car. And before we eventually went to trial, we heard any testimony. There had been rumblings that Kid Cudi could testify. I don't know how likely that is, but he does play a role in all of this, at the very least. Now, the defense, what I want to note is overall, their strategy has been, we admit to the domestic violence. It's a bad thing. Diddy did that. It was bad. However, these freak-offs were consensual. They may have been weird. Jurors, you may not have liked to participate, but Cassie was willing. And the defense actually got Cassie to admit in a way to all of this. She testified that multiple occasions she helped prep or prepare for these freak-offs. She said today at 3 different occasions she picked up supplies for the freak-offs, which you can decide what the supplies were. I mean, she didn't specify, but talking about things we've heard, I mean, we're talking about Johnson & Johnson baby oil or Astroglide or condoms or new linens, whatever it is. She says she picked up supplies and then she also contacted escorts and arranged for them to come. So multiple times Cassie said, yes, I did help prepare for these freak-offs. The defense once again pulled up some text messages from Cassie about all of this. So I'm going to read them to you now. They read, quote, "Didn't hear from you." This is Cassie to Diddy. "Didn't hear from you. So I just put some plans in motion. Let me know to stop." A different message. "Just let me know if I'm headed in the wrong direction so I can cancel." What's interesting about these text messages to me is the defense is putting these on showing Cassie prepared for the freak-off. She got the supplies.
Like
she arranged the escorts. Great. Okay, cool. So Cassie was into it. However, I read the messages and here she says, "Let me know when to stop. Let me know if I'm headed in the wrong direction so I can cancel." So it's almost like she's giving herself a way out. Like, yes, I did this, but okay, I can cancel. Just say the word. So that'll be interesting to see which way jurors fall on those specific text messages. At the time of this recording, that's where we're at right now when it comes to cross-exam, but there's definitely more to come. Remember, the transcripts come out every single night, so we can give you verbatim what Cassie said, what any sort of attorneys were asking her. So subscribe to our Scandal channel now so that you don't miss any of our updates. And you can also feel free to send us any email tips to our email. It's scandal@lawandcrime.com. I'm your host, Sierra Gillespie, and thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of Scandal.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with super reliable internet speeds, you're always front row to the entertainment you love. Switch to Spectrum Internet today.
As a professional mechanic, your tools are essential for your living. Icon tools complete every repair without giving an inch. With broad selection and industry-leading warranty, you can count on Icon. You can count on great value. With over 1,500 stores and interest-free credit on qualifying purchases, why pay tool truck prices? Go with Icon Tools. Tool truck quality, unbeatable value, only at Harbor Freight.
Oh no, I went right into her. What the fuck? Oh Lord.
And Trig the damn ones that just knock us out instantly. But
So guys, that's pretty much, you know, the Diddy update, guys.
Well,
a lot going on, and they had the jury selection, and they had all his testimonies. Day 4 testimony now.
now they're all talking about how freaky he is.
Oh, craziness. Crazy freaky. Pete, what upcoming shows you got going on?
Well, so on May 24th, we got a show going on at the Tampa Bay Skate Park. AKA Spot. Over here at the Bay in Tampa. But for real, guys, we'll go ahead and pull up. It's going to be a fun time. A lot of bands, a lot of people, a lot of good times. There's also there's alcohol too, by the way, guys.
And you got another one too, right? Brass Mug?
Yeah, the Brass Mug. But they already know about that one.
No, tell them again.
Well, I know for the 14th at the Brass Mug, we're going to be playing with Future Pile and a few other bands that are going to be pretty sick. And yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. That's dope.
Find a babysitter.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm trying to go too, bro, and take the camera and get some footage for you, bro. That'll be dope. Skate park at Tampa, that was gonna be so really, really good.
Keep hitting these bad luck spaces.
I'm about to hit more bad luck. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god.
What's up? You know someone want me to meet me? I'm looking at not loyal to my fans. I'll give them a call myself. Beep. Oh. What?
Oh,
Brother, he's giving you a call, cuz. He's like, what's up? He pulled up on you, dog. He pulled up on you.
Yep, he sure did.
Oh, shit, bro. This is hilarious.
Oh!
What was it?
The star?
I lost a star.
How the
But he ain't giving it to me. He took it for himself, the little bastard.
That's how I do. And I gotta steal a star from Sam.
Jeez, Louise.
Hey,
man.
Laughing at his brother.
Oh, and a 9.
$15 in the bank.
15 in the bank and 1 in the clip.
I gotta look at this board real quick. I don't want to hit nothing too crazy. Let's see the regular dice block. Shit.
Oh, brother, I think you should get Schedule 1.
I don't want my weed to disappear.
Play with me online.
I don't want my weed to disappear when I leave the house, though.
No, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't happen that. I think, you know what I honestly think, bro? Because I erased all my history, bro, on my browser. I think it erased a bunch of shit, bro. Like, there was, like, temporarily cached in there. But it's pretty fun, bro. It's fun.
I like the mirror. You switch to somebody last second.
Oh, snap. Boo! PRP. PRP. P. Diddy Trial.
Oh boy.
P. Diddy Trial Part 2. So next week, there'll be a bunch more testimony and a bunch more people, yeah. So, but there's this other, the male escort, he also, there's video of the male escort, you heard? And there's a long ass video of him, bro, and he says a lot, bro. Let me see if they got that video.
How do you move the?
No.
How you move the?
You just move the wheel left and right, and then you press this button to bring it over.
Oh.
I wasn't trying to do that, but yeah, you get the gist of it.
Yeah. The button is.
His name's John Odie.
You need the 2 triangles.
Oh fuck! I forgot to change it.
Use your analog stick to move left or right.
So remember the dude that tried to shoot Trump at the golf club?
Mm-hmm.
He's the same motherfucker that's the male escort that used to smash Cassie. The same man. The same man, bro.
stuff, and I was like a slave.
So at the time, Odie's story seemed too far-fetched to believe, but not anymore. And now in an exclusive...
Felt bad because I got along well with her, and I think she's a decent person. And unfortunately, I had a suspicion that she was in a situation that she wasn't in, but I wasn't sure. And now I understand what was going on in my life and what was happening. And him beating her up in the hotel shows me the type of individual he is, and confirms that everything that happened to me was true and correct and in line with his personality.
So speaking to us from a Miami jail now, here is how Odie says it all began for him.
My place to buy me. I need a separate
model and they call me for a show for they call me an agency that I work for to do a show. And then I went into the show and things led to them offering me more money to perform sexual acts. And that's it. That's how I basically got started. I get dressed like a police officer on the show, they'll strip down, and then, they offer me some more money. They offer me some more money to do some extra stuff.
So Odie did get specific about the extra stuff that he says Diddy wanted from him. And these specifics were consistent with what he told law enforcement during the 2014 interrogation. Here is how he describes the atmosphere and how frequently it happened.
Candles, sensual atmosphere, lights off. He would sit in a corner in a sofa, watch and masturbate. And he'd say, he'd tell her, give her instructions what to do to me. Perform oral sex, rub baby oil. Then he'd tell me rub baby oil, perform oral sex, and then have sex.
How many times did you have sex with Cassie?
Probably like 15 sessions.
And what did you get paid?
$1,000.
How much?
It would be like 800 each time.
Oh, 800 each.
Each time. But sometimes they'll call me twice. I'll leave, and then 3 hours later, they will call me, come back.
And so Odie claimed that the sessions were drug-fueled, and that his concern for both Cassie and himself led him to get one of their sessions on video. Listen to what he says about that.
Why did you decide to record or video?
Because after she passed out, I decided to record that. So in the event anything worse happened, like if she died, or anybody died, it will be on camera, it will be on video, what happened. So I wouldn't be responsible for any of that.
So you were beginning to worry about her doing drugs. I mean, like about her dying or him dying or somebody dying from the drugs, and that you would be held responsible. So you brought a video. You brought your phone?
No, I had a USB video memory stick done like spy shot, and I put it in the water on the table, in the living room table of the hotel I don't stay at. I just filmed it, and had everything described, and it had her threatening me, but he was telling her what to say. We had an argument when I left.
Yeah.
I knew they were paranoid.
The same dude.
I knew they were paranoid. So I wanted to guarantee my safety. So I texted him and said, hey, if anything happens to me, I got evidence of being with you. At the settlement table, there was a lot of irregularity. Okay? It was my first settlement. So they brought me in, and Diddy had a T-shirt with two
it's a two-stars for me.
making gun signs.
Those stars go back and they just
And
get
it was
lost.
back white, and it had a red frame.
Nothing.
But that's the way he
On a
operates. He
biscuit.
communicates, threatening you, like saying, I'm going to have you killed.
Makes Sam's chances of winning. This is like.
Hi, I'm John Dinsmore. I'm
Yeah,
the
he says that
instructor for the UCF split stack software development program.
Like that.
So Odie says to prevent the recording from going public, that's what he was just talking about. Diddy had him sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, in exchange for $5 million in hush money. This was in 2014. The Daily Mail ran a screenshot of what appears to be a signature page signed by Sean Combs and Odie. We have not been able to obtain the document or verify its contents or authenticity, nor have we been able to verify the existence of the video that you heard him talking about. Now, according to Daily Mail's report, the timing coincided with a spending spree by Odie of Florida real estate, and it also coincided with Odie's divorce. His ex-wife tells the Daily Mail that she found out about his windfall only after their split.
Basically, the day the incidents happened at Trump National Doral, I had to take medication, and I didn't. I'd been diagnosed bipolar, but I wasn't sure I was bipolar. And I had an episode, and basically, I've been taking medication every day. I've been stable. I had no issues in jail. I've been excellent behavior in jail. I'm feeling ready to come out to society and be a productive member of society.
All right, so Odie remains locked up in a Florida jail, still awaiting trial on charges of attempted murder, armed burglary, aggravated assault, and armed grand theft. Regarding the sex slave claims, we've reached out to Sean Diddy Combs' team for comment and have yet to hear back. And thank you to Allison Weiner for that interview. We'll continue to investigate.
It's looking dangerous.
Yeah, so he's a Trump shooter, and supposedly he was just gonna shoot a warning shot in the air or whatever but he, back in the day, he's the dude that was telling you earlier that he was trying to say that like Trump's gonna get assassinated, You feel me? Like he said that shit and it's on camera, bro, like literally on camera, bro.
Well, I mean, we've seen attempts happen.
Yeah, no, attempts happen definitely for sure. Oh, you bastard. One. Two, no. Oh, it was one anyways.
And he gets it during the flash sale, too.
That's fucked.
He gets that shit for cheap.
Damn it, man.
I was able to try.
Dirty bastard.
That's the come up right there, man.
For real, bro. He did that. I would have did the same thing. Where's the star at now?
Damn.
Now it's downstairs. Kevo's right next to it.
Did you?
Huh?
Did you?
What?
Who's down there? Who's on the first floor right now?
I said me and Kevo.
Flash spills
I'm
over.
on the top floor.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. Like, how did you know?
Okay, well then I thought. Oh,
Sam's broken.
Four-player mini game. Ready, set, flow.
Lumber tumble.
Oh, this again.
Oh, this is good.
Where'd you go, Pete?
I don't know. It never came out.
Look at him down there. Okie dokie. Okie dokie.
Bye.
Oh! We're gone, brother. We're gone. It's Boo and Bowser.
Bowser J. I'm not gonna say that.
Motherfucker, you're such a dude.
Man.
Oh, snap, bro.
I don't actively try to push people off, but I'm gonna start.
I do.
I was trying to be nice on that one, but fuck. No change. No change.
Fuck.
Home stretch, damn it. That means I'm about to lose.
The bad guys are winning over the good guys.
For real. Mamma mia.
You get to choose an event.
Oh, shit.
Add 1-star exchange. What's that?
It's a trap that you place onto a floor and try to steal somebody's star.
Star exchange.
Oh. Holy shit, there's 2 stars?
Oh.
Okay.
They're right behind.
Who's next to the star? Is it me?
No, me. I'm actually down the way. That's crazy.
I don't even see you.
Oh, Boo's over there. You see like the little red thing? Is the podcast over?
Nah, it's still going, bro. We're on overtime now.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, do you know that when we didn't have the cord, we went live and then the thing died, right?
Yeah.
That thing had our logo up there for like 6 hours, but it's got thousands of views.
Jesus.
It's like, dude.
Amazing.
Oh, bro.
50 coin for nothing. James just dominating, bro.
Jesus.
For real. Damn it.
Oh, no. Not just yet. No.
Yeah, no by 1.
Oh. You passed a red dot too. Nice.
And another stamp.
Yeah, just to keep the money rolling. Right there.
Hey, it's me, Mario.
Nah, he's gonna use it against me. Or Sam. Actually,
Sam. It picks randomly.
No,
he chooses. What?
I told you it picks randomly.
Why did it pick randomly?
You're supposed to be able to pick.
No, you don't pick.
Nah, right. I picked mine.
I picked mine.
No, you guys didn't.
Yes, I did. It tells you can choose who to switch places with.
I feel like he just kind of cemented my theory there.
I think he might have pressed A too fast.
Maybe.
Wait.
Damn,
y'all gonna add money? Oh, y'all not broke.
They're not broke at all.
Don't do it, brother. Don't do it.
Damn, 85 complete?
30, 35.
18, my birthday. Here we go. Mozzarella.
Oh shit! You gotta run through the.
And you just punch each other. Pop, pop, get your ass.
Oh, you won, brother.
I think it's Luigi gets an advantage because he's tall.
Oh, that's fucked.
Be honest, yeah.
Need the vacuum.
Oh, I paused it by accident.
Shit. Oh.
You punched me. You punched me.
I turned around and said, "Wow!"
Before you get me.
Oh, that was so great, though, dude.
I seen it coming, bro. You left the direction instead of coming down my path. Oh, we'll get the super shot.
Oh, shit.
Watch, read what it says in the mirror. Swap spaces with an opponent of your choice.
He did push the button a little too fast then.
What's that? The combat glove?
Oh, yeah.
You get to choose a battle with somebody for like stars or monies.
Star. What did he say, sleepy guy?
Luigi time.
Oh, he said Luigi time? Man, my hearing is way off, kid. I'm crazy. What's wrong with me?
Too much fire chips.
Literally.
Fire chips,
I fucking hate
fire
it.
Chips.
I can't eat normal shit normally.
I can't eat it.
I used to have acid reflux a lot. Well, you can just choose which one you want. That's crazy. Who's this?
Here we go.
Boo. Oh no! About to take.
Choose what?
He's stealing a star from me.
No money? Looking.
He stole a star.
The money's. Right now.
Oh shit! He trying to get the other star.
It's official.
No.
Oh, he did.
What a bastard.
That's actually on point. That's crazy.
Okay, you're a dick officially.
Oh my god!
No way. Okay, so now
look at her standing there. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Phil, but where is the other?
I went from 2 stars to no stars to 2 stars. Okay, let go. We'll play.
I don't know how many more.
There's still one over there too.
Yeah. You're gonna pick that. I don't know what I'm telling you, but I knew you were just gonna dab that. I don't know what.
Because random is awesome.
¿Qué puñeta está pasando here, bro?
You put you close to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. It's a fat story.
The power of the custom dice.
Bro, I want to steal the cat's seat right now, bro.
My cheeks is hurting.
Yeah. That's live.
My cheeks. Oh, I hate this game. Let's play. Let's do it. Dang it.
Damn, my thing doesn't control that well.
Boys, bedtime.
Damn.
I got 2 coins, dude. Oh my god.
Wow, ain't too bad. So whatever you make, you get to keep.
For that one, yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I was.
Double dice. Mario time.
Oh, you got them dueling gloves. Oh, you have to have a star to duel with them.
Ah.
The pipeline?
Dirty bastards.
Let's
see what happens.
Yep. All you gotta do is roll a 10. You got this.
Oh no.
You hit the button that you like fast.
Bastard. Bastard.
You test your luck too. Pipeline.
Sam's you still got 2 stars though, Sam. And 100 double the. Yeah, you actually got double the stars Kevo got.
4, that's crazy. Nueve.
Puñeta.
I'm about to steal me another star.
Nah.
No. Oh.
I'm sorry, Pete. She's already pissed at me.
I don't get up there myself.
Oh, man. Oh, 3 stars on the Luigi now. 3 stars. Sam,
that chart is going to go all over the place whenever we see the end of it.
Sam has 2. Kevin has 3 now, but he's broke. Now it's Pete's turn. We should have been doing the play-by-play. We're in a precarious situation. Wow. Star. There you go, Pete. You got a star.
Oh, I want to go upstairs now.
You want to steal a star, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, not for me, bro.
You're the biggest target right there.
What do you mean? You're the star survivor.
I'm suspect.
You're the star slider.
You're the star thief.
You're the star slider, he says.
Star swiper.
Oh, it's up there next to the thing.
And I also get a star while I'm going there, too? Okay. Let's get this cooking then, I guess.
Oh, I see what you've got there, man. He's like, oh, snap. Ooh. No, why didn't you get the glove?
Because he isn't going to have enough to buy the star if he did that.
Damn.
Don't have enough to steal a star either, though.
Nope.
Damn.
That's if I let you win the minigame, partner.
Vertical.
What the fuck?
Press the machine button. Hold. What? What do you hold? Which one do you hold?
This right here, you gotta hold these 2, and then, like...
These 2 on the bottom?
On the top.
Just
hold the button on the top.
And you gotta hold the button on the top.
Oh, I got it.
I don't know if I'm doing this right. Which button is it?
Those 2 and that, and then...
These 2 up here.
These 2 and this one? Oh, shit. What team are we on? I don't even know.
We're on the right. Oh, my goodness. I can't keep doing this.
Did we win? Y'all won.
Me and Pete. Woo.
Oh, man.
That shit was tired.
Holy shit.
Yo, the replay on that's going to be so fucking funny. Oh, bro.
Yeah, disclaimer for this shit.
Hey, it's you, Wario. Oh, Wario left. Sabayori Archipelago. Oh, you know I'm in Desrosa now.
Now you have to go see the whole fight.
Do Flamingo.
Yeah.
So that's a Gear 5 Luffy versus Kizaru.
Oh, no. Shh, don't tell me.
Yeah, he still had like...
He's only gone to 3rd
500
year.
episodes left. Maybe 550, 56.
I'm on like almost 700.
So you got about Like 700, 400.
How many episodes is it?
1,120.
Oh, I know. I'm almost to 700, yeah. For sure. $7 coins. It said Mario, the one that freaking loses the whole damn game.
Not really. There was a point I wasn't winning at all either.
I don't even know how I got back up to 3 stars.
Damn, man, I'm still 21 away.
You gotta, it's like laying down traps. If someone lands on it, they'll give you a star.
Yep.
When can I place it?
Your next turn. You can put one at a time.
Do they have to land exactly where it's at?
Ooh. Yeah. You get to hit the 4th place shop. So if you're in 4th place, they sell you stuff.
Yeah.
The shop
you
is
got it.
The shop is called 4th.
Oh shit! You got like 27 gold though. Okay. Oh shit! You get a bonus for that too? Crazy.
Oh.
It's actually pretty. Yeah.
I can only place one at a time, or I can place multiples.
Jesus Christ! You just have multiple of those things all over the map.
You're
everybody just like, so it's like, yeah.
That would suck.
Everybody tries to do that. We fucking say.
I'll get like something to switch with that glove, because you can't do nothing with that glove right now.
Carrying them now.
What happened?
He
Did you buy it?
He bought the glove one. I was getting rid of the. I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to look at the glove.
And then they're giving you one more.
Jesus Christ, 4 slots.
What did I do?
You bought the star one.
And you get maximum amount.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's not a star in front of me.
Huh?
I can't afford that shit.
You can only put one at a time, though, right? One trap.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god.
Jesus. Why didn't you get that star?
Didn't have enough.
Yeah, you got 10 cents in there. Oh, 3 gold stars altogether. Maybe. Damn. Holy shit. I knew it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit.
You gotta take my star. He has that habit. He likes his stars.
He does.
You want my star? I know. Don't be a bastard.
All players lose 10 coins.
1,000 coins. Ah!
Oh, nothing for. Damn.
He
What?
ran away. He ran away.
Yeah. He does that every time.
Bastard.
1,000 coins.
Like, you receive 1,000 coins. He's like, I'll be right back. And he just dips out.
I really should use my glasses when I play this game.
Oh, we got dodge his arrows.
No! I'm ready. No!
Dang it. Pete's assassinating me over here.
Look.
Dang it.
Oh, shit. Oh, no!
Wasn't me.
Oh, he won?
He had to score 100 points.
I'm over here.
Damn it, man.
You must dodge the arrows.
It's a horrible game for me.
We're like, oh, man. Oh, 2 turns left. Yeah, we're all fucked. Oh, Donkey Kong.
DK. What's he here for?
He's could be your friend.
Way out. I'm going to the upstairs real quick.
Oh, just stay on the bottom. Might as well.
Gonna speak to DK, are you?
She's gonna win most coins. Then you get the last partner too. Oh no, you got the last partner.
Oh yeah, showdown minigame.
You gotta play the drums, the Congo beat.
Oh, this again. Oh, I'm so bad.
Suck at this, bro.
So
I fucking
bad.
suck at this.
You might gotta move the camera for Pete. Let's see if he get any space there.
All right.
So bad.
Go. You only do these, right, brother?
Put some of the top buttons.
So late.
I'm gonna actually try. Hold on.
Luigi having fun.
Look at Luigi. Oh shit. Oh, bro, that made me laugh so hard, bro.
We're not even playing the actual thing, yo.
No, we trying to practice, bro. What you talking about? Play it with advantage, matching the rhythm. Oh, hell no. Oh, no, they gave you an advantage. Why ain't they giving it to me? Go, boo. Go, boo. Oh, Luigi. Oh, snap. That's fucked. Damn. Yo, that's crazy. Hey, we got better at it, right? A little
bit.
Bad.
Bowser won.
Sam whooped us again. Quit.
I quit, he says. Oh, Lord, what time is it?
Ought to be 11.
Oh, it's 11:35.
Still streaming or no?
We're still streaming, bro. Listen, let's say goodbye. Good night to everybody. Guys, good night. Y'all have a good night.
PRP.
Hi.